Hey Neppers, it's me, Wild Neptune. Today, gonna take a look at the two new units coming out very soon. The one's supposed to be the Rengo Saviors. Anyway, if you enjoyed this, like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. Let's get going. Okay, we'll start with the one I think will be more popular for non-gameplay reasons. So...
私と話がしたいのですか? 10分だけ時間を取りましょう。それ
Okay, I do not think if I had 10 minutes to talk to her, I would have 10 minutes of things to actually say. Not because she's hot or anything, but more like, I don't know, anything about you. Like,
以上は無理です。
you know, where you from? How's the weather? What's the name of your dragon? Wow, you really like you really like the color blue, don't you? You know, what do you say?
Ninfaniel is a versatile support.
So Ninfaniel, what a name. And okay, support Animus. Blue. Who could have guessed?
Animus. Ninfaniel grants all allies increased attack, immunity, and a special shield, Rhyme Bloom, that further enhances attack. Her skill 2 can equalize all allies' HP and provides healing. She significantly boosts the team's survivability while increasing DPS Animus attack power, giving her a unique advantage in high difficulty stages. Skill 1 deals damage to a single enemy with the chance to apply increased resistance for 2 turns.
Increased resistance? On who? Herself? Like a party member? Or something? It doesn't really show. Whatever, it's a skill 1. How useful is increased resistance in PvE? In PvP, it's like, you know, resistance is like a fake stat. Unless it's not. You need a lot of it. Resistance is kind of crappy in PvP. In PvE, I've heard that if you have like 100 or so on a unit, it can be pretty good. I don't know, like, what does increase give you? Is it like plus 60 or something? The hold and like decrease is like minus 60 or something, right? I don't exactly know. I don't really pay attention to this stuff here, because you never plan around having increased or decreased resistance on a target, because your debuffers you always build 200 plus, and everything else like doesn't really matter, in my opinion. If it's like the whole party though for 2 turns, that's pretty good. If it's just yourself, it's pretty crappy. I know, it's okay. Maybe you build it with like 100 or something like that. It depends on like what stats she needs. Or maybe it's like herself and like a random party member if it's skilled up. But that means you skill it up is skill 1. So we'll see.
For 2 turns. Skill 2 redistributes all allies' HP evenly, then heals the entire party. Ultimate skill.
Okay, so it is a Valerian plus, basically. You don't get the cheat death thing, but you do get the equalizer, and you also get a heal on top of it, which is pretty nice.
Applies increased attack for 2 turns, Rhyme Bloom for 2 turns, and immunity for 1 turn to all allies. Effects on the primary target would last 1 additional turn.
Okay, so you get 3 separate buffs. You get increased attack, which is good. You get Rhyme Bloom, which is a special thing. We don't really know what it does quite yet. And we get immunity too for 1 turn, and it is extended on a target that you can pick, which is pretty nice. Probably going to be like on a DPS, I would say, for most bosses, as that's the one you really want to have, you know, not get clocked. So clocked because it's Whitney. Hahaha.
Rhyme Bloom is a special shield that can absorb damage equal to its value and increases attack while active.
So damage equals to its value. So like, just like it's just a barrier, right? It's like, why do you sad to say it's such a weird way.
時間がないので本題に入りましょう。業務を依頼する際は専用の窓口にお願いします。ただ、私は仕事に高いレベルを求めますので、そのつもりでいてください。
okay. So what do I think about the first one, Nymphaniel? I don't know. Like, nothing about her kit jumps out at me as being incredibly good. I would expect this has to do with the numbers and everything. Like, maybe just gives, like, a really big attack bonus. Because it seems like you get an attack bonus, and then you get more attack with the S3, which can be pretty good. Also, the fact she gets, like, a barrier, too, and, she, what do you call it, heals everything with the S2 also, and equalizes, is pretty nice. I guess, too, the increased ER for Rengo, specifically, because people complain about the silence, right? But I don't know, it's like, my Ling has, like, 100 ER, and I go into Rengo, and sometimes she still gets silence. It's just because ER will never fully erase the chance of getting debuffed. So we'll have to see how big these shields actually are and everything like that. So, I don't know. Seems like a good support character. She doesn't seem to do anything super special. But, again, this is probably more of just a raw numbers type thing. I'm sure people will pull on it, though, just because of the way she looks overall. Alright, now we have the guy character.
今日はすごくいい天気だし、一緒にサーフィンしに行かない？
Batsby is a high...
Batsby? Okay, so he's the damage dealer. Which makes sense, I guess. So, like, here's the thing, though. Are there any male healers in the game? Like, not supports. They're definitely like male supports. I guess there's... Does Cat? No, that's Dorothy. I don't... Are... Like, Vice heals. Like, is he a healer? I don't know. Right? Anyway.
output damage dealer whose effectiveness scales with the number of debuffs on enemies. His
Okay, so like built-in momentum. So that almost means like full PvE, right? That screams to me not good in PvP.
passive increases damage based on the types of debuffs afflicting targets, while his ultimate
Types of debuff.
applies group vulnerability and grants massive strike prep increase on critical hits. Paired with his skill 2, which extends debuff durations on crit, he can unleash devastating group damage in quick succession. Synergizes exceptionally well with all allies who...
So, I don't know. So, maybe not. Maybe he's like a good cleave unit, too. Well, what to say?
apply multiple debuffs. Skill 1 deals damage to a single enemy with a chance to inflict anti-heal. Exclusive passive for each unique debuff on the target. Batsby's damage dealt.
Okay, so it's unique debuff. So that means it doesn't work with like dots and stuff.
Increases. Skill 2 deals damage to all enemies. Critical hits extend the duration of existing debuffs by 1 turn. Ultimate.
I wonder though if that does count dots, right? So like, maybe like a poor person Shadow Sonya, but Shadow Sonya like detonates them, so you know that's a little bit, you know, a lot different.
Deals AoE damage and applies vulnerability for 2 turns. Each critical hit on an enemy grants Batsby a strike prep increase.
今年こそ最優秀社員を目指すって決めたんだ。だからチェディ。
Alright, so I wonder here if the skill 2 does he's in Doki right now, and I wonder if it extends like CC debuffs. If it does, that's kind of busted for PvP. I know I said it first, maybe not good for PvP because built-in momentum, but extending control debuffs is really, 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 really good, especially since there are not many good ways outside of Doki Doki to break out of these debuffs. There's Alicorn, but Alicorn, in my opinion, should be buffed as a shell. I don't know. It's one of those things where I kind of... It shows it here, so I'm assuming it does, but maybe it doesn't. A lot of the times, control and dots are like separate. We'll have to see though. He seems kind of weird. I don't know. Also, what the heck? He has like a whole. This is not even okay. What is this? This tail here. I know a lot of users have tails, but this is not even a tail. This is like an entire fish, like besides like the head, and this is the tail. So what is going on here? It's interesting here though that they don't really show him in any. I guess they didn't really show the girl in Rengo Kusu either. He's just much more of a general, like, use unit overall as a damage dealer. I guess both of them seem to be general use units. Though he has good stuff. Vulnerability is really, really good. I feel though that in single target situations though, you just use Dina, and you don't really need the extension for that fight. For fights that you use her in, because you are killing it fast enough anyway, where it doesn't matter. So he definitely seems to be more like a longer fight type deal. Because like in Doki Doki, if you have played for a long time and you have a speed team built up, not just super speed team, just a team that can kill pretty quickly, you don't really need to extend debuffs, right? You are killing the first wave pretty fast, and you're killing the second wave pretty fast too. So it doesn't really mean anything. Again, it's more for like these long fights that they show you, like Febby in here, that you might use him in. And for like PvE use cases, I don't know, that seems kind of narrow in my opinion. Even though I do know people have been asking, at least I've seen people ask, if for like a unit that extends debuffs beyond what's the guy who does it? RC, I think it is, can do it. Yeah, but anyway, might be okay in PvP, depending on how his S2 actually works and such. We will have to see about that. It's kind of hard putting in another, like... Oh, it also depends on... He says it's a high output damage dealer, but his damage depends on debuffs, and depending on how that works also, that can be kind of lackluster in PvP, and it is... And I feel like I just rather have a little debuffer than a unit that extends debuffs in PvP, so... I don't know, he's pretty hard to judge. Alright, anyway, that is the video. Unfortunately, not too much of a you should probably pull this or not pull this when it comes down, because we don't really have the prowess increase, like skill up things we can see right now. So it's just a guessing game, and honestly, until they actually come out, we test them a little bit, we won't really have a concrete answer on how good they will be. But hopefully, they are at least, you know, decent enough. I personally don't want it to be like overpowered or anything like that, but I do want them to be units that you are happy to have pulled if you do decide to get them. Anyway, it's been a good one. Till next time.